This is problem 1.42 from Francois Tardieu's Backgammon Strategic Contest book, chapter 1. Here's the position. We're blue. We rolled a 6-1. Our home board's in the bottom right. Look at the three top moves, figure out which one is the best. I'll give you my quick observations, some of Tardieu's key points, Tardieu's expert analysis with feedback from XG, Tardieu's summary, and at the end of the video, I'll modify the position, which brings up a couple of questions. Here is the first possible move, making the bar point. I'm moving 13, 7, 8, 7 like this. This makes the 7 point, the bar point, strips the midpoint, strips the 8 point, and leaves our board fairly inflexible. We've got two strip points here, one stacked point here, strip points, blots, pretty inflexible. Second possible move is to make the 5 point like this. This makes our 5 point called the golden point because it's so valuable. Unstacks our 6 point, utilizes and cleans up our blot from the 11 point, and leaves us with a fairly flexible board. We've unstacked our heavy 6 point. We've still got a builder on our 8 point. Still got a builder on our midpoint. So it's pretty flexible. Third possible move is to hit white by moving 21-14 like this. This hits white and sends him to the bar, which gives us a huge racing lead, puts us up by 30 pips after the move. Takes away half of white's next roll because he's got to come in off the bar with one of the dice once he gets doubles. Breaks our advanced anchor, the 21. Leaves numerous blots around the board. Four blots. These are the three final positions. Look at each board, look at the features of each position, the pip count, the strength of each player's board, and the threats facing each player after the moves, and decide which one you prefer. Here's the before and after of the play where we make the bar point. Here's the before and after of the play where we make the golden point, the 5 point. And here's the before and after shots of the play where we hit white on the 14 point. Some of Tardieu's key points. We generally don't like stripping our 8 point, like having more than 2 on our 8 point. We always like unstacking our heavy 6 point. The 5 point is usually better than the 7 point. Making the 5 point here activates the builder on the 11 point and unstacks our 6 point. We should carefully weigh the benefits and consequences of breaking our advanced anchor on the 21. So while we can hit the white's blot on the 14 point and gain ground in the race, remove a useful builder for white, we're leaving 4 blots scattered around the board, and most importantly, we're breaking our anchor. White is lagging severely behind in the race and is not afraid to have a 4th checker sent back. So even if we hit him, it's not that bad for white. Our board is still weak, and white's anchor on the 22 point will make it relatively easy for him to come in and secure a second anchor. Let's look and see what Tardieu and XG say. For the play where we make the bar point, Tardieu says, having made an advanced anchor we can focus on offense. The 7-point is not as good as the 5-point because it's an outer board point, but we must also strip our 8-point in order to make the bar point, which is not good. Finally, by making the 7-point, we leave our 6-point heavily stacked, which also is not that good. For those reasons make this the third best of the top 3 possible moves. The second best move is to hit sending white to the bar. We're gaining ground in the race and removing a useful builder for white by hitting him on the 14. And white will have 4 checkers back to R2. However, there's a major conceptual error by making the 21-14 hit. It breaks a defensive anchor on the 21. It leaves 4 blots scattered around the board, and it gives up making our 5-point. White is way behind and our board is weak, so white won't mind adding a 4th checker back. The top move, according to Tardieu and XG, is to make our 5-point. This unstacks our heavy 6-point and does not strip our 8-point. Also, by making the 5-point, we'll be up 16 pips in the race after the roll. We'll have the best attacking and defensive points. The 21-point is almost as good as this 20-point, just about as strong. 20 points a little bit better, but still a great point to have, 21. And we'll have a robust structure in our outfield. These are 3 strong assets and should make the rest of the game play out comfortably. Tardieu's summary: when you have secured a defensive anchor, like we have in the 21-point, you should concentrate on the areas where your development is still lagging behind your opponents, or offensive development. Modify the position, increase white's racing lead, and give him only 1 checker back instead of 3 compared to the original position here. Now we've moved these 2 checkers of white's here to the 18-point. Now, when white has only 1 checker back as well as a big lead in the race, XG says we should hit on the 14-point. I believe this is because we benefit more by evening up the race. After the row will have 170 pips and white will have 170 pip count. So we gain more by making the hit than making the 5-point. I think I'm interpreting this correctly. I might be missing something though. If you see something I'm missing, if you have any comments, any questions, please feel free to leave feedback. Any and all feedback is welcome. Make sure to check out Alex Eshaghian's excellent review of Tardieu's book on YouTube, as well as Sunny Florida Backgammon Club's informative series of lessons on Tardieu's book, also on YouTube.